What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the AEW Jazwares Vault exclusive 1 of 3,000 Death Triangle 3-pack. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Alright, so these are figures that we have gotten before, but they have obviously upgraded parts or different paint, and we're getting 2 new style of titles, but altogether we're getting 4 titles because it is the Trios Championships. Before we go ahead and take the rubber bands off the figures holding the titles up, let's look at the hands, because that'll be a part that'll be easy to get through, and then we'll talk about the figures themselves, the title belts, and we will go on from there. So for Rey Fenix, you get the C-grip hand here. You get the splayed out open hand that we have seen from him time and time again. And then we also get the corresponding C-grip hand for the left side. And then, I don't know if this, I think this is a paint mess up right there on mine. But it is what it is. And then we have the other kind of open hand pose that we see with all the Rey Fenix figures. For Pac, he comes with the 2 C-grip hands that we just saw with Phoenix, and he comes with 2 fisted hands. This is the first Pac figure I have bought since I didn't buy the one that came out in, like, I think it was Unmatched 7. I bought the Unrivaled Series 3 and I haven't bought one since. For Pentagon, he does have the Acero Miedo hand. He has a C-grip glove hand. He has a C-grip for the other hand, and these have the corresponding tattoos with them. And then he has a fisted left hand, which is the only fist that he actually comes with. I wish if they were going to give us fists, then they would give you a set of fists. If they're going to give you C-grips, they give you a set of C-grips, so on and so forth. So we're going to slide the Lucha Brothers back, and right now we're going to focus on Pac. Now this is a new head scan, obviously. The way that the hair comes over the face looks really good. I do like that. I think that's a really smart choice, especially considering his first release. Oh baby, it looked god-awful. Neither one of the faces looked like him. One of them, hair was covering majority of the face, which is the same thing here, but it still looked rough. And the other one just looked like some random bearded guy with long hair on the street. So he has a more full beard here. Pac, let's be honest, Pac's ears do stick out, and they nailed that on this sculpt, and you can actually see the ears sticking out on this side of the sculpt. That's not going to be painted well on probably 90% of the figures, but you get what it's trying to do, and it does look cool from the side there. Also, this is the corrected skin tone, the one that I always say I prefer when it comes to the AEW figures. It is not this sickly looking skin tone that we see here on this Jack Perry. It is the more tan skin tone, which they started doing in Unmatched Series 3, and then it's kind of hit or miss when they do it since then. Let's go ahead and pop these rubber bands off, because I noticed yesterday when I was opening this up that my international title does have an issue with it. But we will talk about that. I do have a custom from when it was called the Mid-Atlantic, I believe it was. It was Mid-Atlantic or All-Atlantic Championship. But we're not going to mention that for the sake of the video. We're just going to talk about what we officially have. But like, looking at it, this Pac figure is solid. We'll get into it though. For the Trios titles, these look very nice. I do have custom versions of these too. They're obviously not as gold, because when you're dealing like with custom titles as opposed to factory made, it's never going to be as shiny like we see here with, like, this is pretty shiny for a custom title, this NWA, but it's never going to look how it can from the factory. So I will give Jazwares credit there. They do a really good job of making their titles look like they are display pieces. I also love the painted rivets over here. They are the snaps. They could have left that off, and they chose not to. And then it does buckle the way that championships have for the last 20 plus years at this point. I have a little bit of issue there, but I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't have issues with these? But the Trios titles look very good, and we have 3 of those. For the international title, as you see, mine has an upside down plate, and now I was like, could I take this off? But no, if I take it off and flip it over, it's just going to be this plate here. So that is rather unfortunate. but it is still a beautiful title. The only other way to get this belt is in the Amazon exclusive limited to 1,000 4-pack with MJF, Orange Cassidy, Thunder Rosa, and Wardlow. I don't want to open that up. It's one of 1,000, and it sucks. I might be able to contact them and get a fixed version. We will see. But the titles that are the flags that are featured on here. Let me see if I can get this right. It's Mexico, China, the UK, United States, Canada, and Japan. So that is pretty cool. The fact that those are legible, even though they are so small, it looks really good. And it says International Championship. Does that say championship? International Champion. Okay, yeah. So, but I love the way that the plates are formed perfectly to the strap, I guess you could call it, if that makes sense. It's just more of a visual thing, and it should be, but it looks exceptionally well on this one. This is a nice title, and I cannot wait to put this on. Ooh, let's see. I'll probably put it on Orange Cassidy on the shelf. But that looks good. 4-pack. Like I said, this head scan is top notch. Great range of motion, I believe. As far as bending down, he gets pretty good range of motion there. Now, I did have an issue with this Series 3 not being able to kick up high enough. And it's still kind of an issue here, but we can make do. I don't like these knee pads because I always feel like they're too bulky. Even though these seem to be a lot more softer than other ones that I've been using like with customs lately. This looks good. It's a plain figure, but that is fine because we get a brand new head sculpt and we got 2 new titles. But I like it, and it fits the Death Triangle look. So that's Pac. Let's go on into Rey Fenix. Now, it's to the point where if you buy one Rey Fenix, you have bought them all. He comes with the Trio Championship, of course. The only thing different here is the tights, which is to be expected. I might end up selling this Rey Fenix because I like other versions of it more. These pants look very, very similar to, oh man, I believe it was Unmatched 7? I don't know. The tattoos look good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jazwares does do a pretty good job with the tattoos. But it's just, I don't know. Like, we mainly got this for the titles, let's be honest. But I'm pulling up a picture of Unmatched 7 Phoenix. And it's different, but it is not different enough to justify, you know what I mean? I guess they're different enough. I don't think it's necessary. So Phoenix is a little bit of a letdown, but I didn't have high expectations because he also has a Supreme. So if you're going to pose one around, you're going to take that Supreme and do that one. For the other figure, though, we have Pentagon. And Pentagon has not had a bad figure yet. His Unmatched Series 2 Trio Championship came in the black and white. And then, oh, don't let me get this wrong. His Supreme figure was in like the Mexican flag colors. So that looked good. And then he had the Unmatched version, which came in the black and red version. And then he had the Series 6, which came in the black and gold. Every single figure of Pentagon looks cool. I've been wanting a figure of him since the Lucha Underground days. Oh, and his Boss Fight Studio figure came out in red and black. They're just solid figures, and Pentagon has that look. But once again, once you've bought one Pentagon, you've bought them all. Nothing new here, per se. You do have this floating piece around the midsection, which if you pop the torso off, like we said, you just take that off, and then you have the improved articulation. Now, I will say Pentagon is one of the best articulated figures from Jazwares. I will give them credit for that all day long. But it looks so good. And the design inside the padding with, I don't even know if that's like circles or like little diamonds or what. It looks so good in the front there, the midsection, the waist area, then it carries over to the legs. There's just a lot. Oh, and even the hand on the back and the back of the waist piece. Everything about this is really nice, and it's really hard to complain about a Pentagon figure. But that is the Death Triangle 3-pack. My favorite one, surprisingly enough, is Pac. I don't know why, because we needed a good version of him for so long. And then it's going to be Pentagon, and then Phoenix picking up the rear. But that is not taken away from Phoenix. It's just we've already gotten a Supreme from him, and it's pretty hard to beat that. But that is going to be it for today's review. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, take it easy.